Hey, welcome to Quarantine Comedy. This is Lenny Schmidt, but I feel great. I've been busy running around talking to people. Julia texted me 700 times this afternoon to talk about the show, and she's very excited to be here. I'm very excited to have her. And you know what? I'm not even going to waste any more time, man. Let's just get right to it. Let's bring her out here. She looks fantastic. She's very bouncy today. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. I've been waiting for the show for a while. This is her. I gotta say, it's her fourth appearance, maybe third, but I think it's the fourth appearance on the show. So it's always great to have her. It's always great to have my good friend here. So let's get her out here. Let's get right to it. What do you think? Because we're gonna have a lot to talk about, and I'm gonna have dinner right after this. So my dinner's cooking as we speak, and if I timed it correctly, the show will be over and my dinner will be ready. Folks, give it up for my good friend right here. Here she is. I'm purposely stalling. Because she's very bouncy now, and I know she. See, I can see you even though you're not on. I can see you. I can hear you now too.
Okay.
There's
Hello.
Julia Bendis, folks. There she is. Everybody, Julia Bendis is here. Yay!
Hey, thank you so much. Yes, I am bouncing. I'm sitting on one of those giant workout balls.
I like it.
Can't see it, but I may fall off. So
I will.
watch
I
for
will.
that.
I can't wait. I want you to fall sideways. That would be the best if you were just like, yeah, like. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, this might not last, but we'll see.
It's good for your core and your legs, right?
I don't know. Apparently, I mean, my back feels worse when I'm on it, but apparently you're supposed to be doing this and not just sitting in a chair all day,
Well,
so,
it forces you to sit up straight. Your posture,
yeah,
right?
but I'm usually like this.
Look, I know it's good for me, but I just break all the rules. Okay, fair enough.
Right.
Okay.
Full disclosure, I did not text you 700 times, 3 times. That's really good for me.
Yeah, that's not bad. I felt so bad. And then I told you, I'm busy. I was busy today, and you go, yeah, right. Like I have nothing going on. That was the worst. I got a lot going on today. It was a big day. So you're not the only one the people, the Patreon, the followers page, everybody, Rachel texted me, everybody, they all know you're here. They can't wait for you to be here.
Why are they texting you then? Why are they texting you?
Because it's anticipation. They can't wait. That's weird. They came to Vegas last week to see my shows. All they do is talk about you the whole time. That was it.
Aw,
Yeah,
see,
they love
I
you.
keep telling you, we got to take the show on the road. Just
Yeah,
you and me on stage somewhere, like a fun, stupid panel, just talking about everyday mundane lives. People will like that.
What people would love that, and where would we do it? You're talking to a guy that's done a lot of live shows. Yeah, I've done a lot of live shows, and it sounds like a great idea when you walk in the bar with a microphone and an amp. Where do we plug in? They're gonna love this. And then you sit down, and they're like, they won't turn off the TVs, and they're playing pool. You know what I mean? Stuff like that's happening. If we found the right crowd,
anyway.
What?
We'll just ramble. We'll just ramble on and on and on and talk. And eventually, when I start talking about black dick, they'll have to look up.
Well, they will.
I mean,
they will. They
Yeah.
will look up.
So,
That's good.
Yeah. Anyway, but it is most people have pretty mundane lives, wouldn't you say? I mean, for the most part, right? But it's funny because I always think that I'm like on an episode of Punk'd. Remember that show?
Yeah.
With Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah.
Constantly. In fact, your people, your stalkers, I mean fans, your fans.
They call themselves stalkers. Call them stalkers. They have a thread. They call themselves stalkers. They're fine. They know.
They did. Yeah, they played a little fun game on me when they were out there.
That was the best. I loved it. Explain it. It was funny.
Crazy.
I laughed my ass off. It was great.
Right. That was crazy. And, I kind of went along with it because it could be a client because it has happened. I have such crazy text messages and emails and phone calls that I just go along with it because I don't want a negative review.
Right.
And Yelp review, right? So I just kind of go with it.
Well, you got, as a business owner, you got to approach it with some seriousness, right? And even though the guy's name was Chewy, they did use the name Chewy, which was the best.
I didn't even look at the name. I just read the text and then the picture of him wearing some crazy mask. I'm like, oh, no.
He had that mask last week. Yeah,
I mean,
not
really,
this guy.
Now what? What do I say? But I swear, it's just, And then this week, this was right after this happened, which it's a funny story, but it's not a funny story. And I want to say that it's my dentist's fault because it kind of is. Every time I go to the dentist, he makes fun of how small my mouth is, and he can never get like regular adult trays and tools and x-ray things in there. And he's like, God damn it, I have to go get the kid trays because he can't. He's like, I can't even get a pinky in there. And you want a black guy? So
That's
and
yeah.
he reminds me of
That's a good
it
point.
was my fault. So I thought, I'm going to go and experiment a little. And, girls get together. We talk about sex toys and whatever, best websites. So this girlfriend of mine tells me about Doc Johnson website. Have you heard of it? Doc Johnson Toys?
No.
You got to look it up.
Okay. You should have told me. I would have shared the website during the show. I don't know if I want to share the website during the show.
They're not paying me, so don't share.
Yeah, there's no kickback. Screw those people. Okay.
So anyway, so I go on there. I'm like, I'm going to experiment. I'm going to get a nice, good size black toy, and I'm looking at all these different sizes and all these different descriptions and everything. And then I look at the diameter and it says 2.75 inches. So I'm like, okay, that seems normal, right? Seems like a legitimate toy.
What's that? That's about the size of what's 2.7? Like for comparison, what would that be? 2.75.
Okay, so I'm thinking 2.75 is like no. Like
a golf ball?
I don't know. It's not 2.75.
Like a golf ball, like that?
Exactly.
Okay, interesting.
Right.
All right. Okay. So
you're
thinking, sure, that's reasonable size there. Okay.
Right. But I'm also really bad with math. So then a few days later, I see the FedEx guy carrying something really heavy. He's kind of bent over.
He's limping.
Puts it down. The box, it was literally leaning against the door. Right. I open it. It is way more than a foot, and it is way more than a golf ball. This thing, I have a picture. I know we can't show it, but it was literally just standing by itself. It was so heavy, and it was like this wide. I'm not even kidding you.
That's too big for your. That's too big for your childlike mouth.
Oh no! I put it back in the box. I called them. I'm like, no, this isn't going to work. And they're like, well, you ordered it. It's 2.75 in diameter. Apparently, in diameter, it's like this big.
Oh, like this. So we're talking baseball size instead of golf ball size. No, it's not. Then I'm wrong.
Softball.
It was what?
Softball.
Oh, softball size. Softball. Well, I'm not prepared now. I don't have a softball with me. If I'd have known that, I could have ran out to the storage area and got a softball. All I have is baseballs and golf balls.
Well, I'll bring it next time for a comparison. I do have a picture. I was going to say show the picture, but let's not show the picture.
I don't know if I don't know how much trouble I'll get in for showing the picture. I don't know if I would.
Don't show the picture.
Don't?
If you're 18 and over, I hope you've left by now. 18 and under. I hope none of my family members are listening.
Yeah, where's the kids? Your sons aren't here today. They're usually here giving me shit. They're not around today?
So
this would be a good conversation for them there. Did you mention that to them, the size of the sex toy that you got?
It was hidden in the closet for a while until I literally just threw it in the trash.
Oh, you threw it away? You can't sell that secondhand at like a flea market or a garage sale? You should have put it out at a garage sale. How great would that have been? Right in the middle of the driveway.
We had a garage sale the week after, and I really thought about it. But my 15-year-old was running the garage sale. I didn't want to answer any questions. Right. Not only is it black, but it's a foot long.
Sure.
And it's like, it was bigger than a horse penis.
Right.
I've never seen anything like that in my life. But I got to tell you, the reviews were incredible. It was amazing. I'm assuming it was a lot of gay men.
Well, it was probably also bullshit people that work for the company. They do that all the time, too. This is the best ever. It's fantastic. And they always have people in the office write the reviews.
I don't know, because it was very descriptive of what they did and how they did and how often. It was very descriptive. I'm like, oh, man, I got to get me one of these until it arrived. I'm like, nope, I don't want it.
Did you try it once? Did you give it a shot? Did you give it anything, or you just threw it in the closet?
No, I looked at it. I'm like, nope. I called them. They said, oh, you opened the box, so we can't take it back.
Yeah, they would. Well, that's proper. That's proper. They shouldn't take it back. If you know what I mean, you should. I agree. That's 100% because
No,
you
they're
never
like,
know.
we don't want
Everyone's gonna lie. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh no, I never used it," and then they send it back. You know what I mean? It's just not. You don't know.
right. I don't know how you can tell. I mean, I guess the box is open, so the seal is broken. But
I guess.
anyway, yeah, that was an interesting story. And I hope I really do hope my kids are not listening. One is up north in college. He hardly ever calls anyway, but the 15-year-old is still around, so we'll find out.
Okay, Tammy, or I'm going to respond now. I have people making
Oh
comments.
no.
Tammy from the Patreon members said that medically speaking, your vajayjay can adapt to any size. I don't know if that's correct. Is that correct?
Oh, it can. It
Okay.
can.
All right.
Yeah. No, you really can. But I honestly didn't want to be ruined for the rest of my life. I had two
Yeah, that's true.
C-sections.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, sweet. So
know,
you're still, yeah, okay. I got to look. Yeah, okay.
right.
That came out the wrong way.
Right. No, he didn't.
Okay, yeah, right. That's, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that changed. Oh, of course. That means there's, yeah.
And he goes back, but I didn't want to take a chance.
Right. No, why would you? No, because you're right. You would be ruined forever. You'd be like, you'd be, and that would be, would be unfortunate for whoever was with you in the future, unless there was a size of that, apparatus.
Right. Then that would be great.
Sure.
Yeah, but can you imagine being with a small person? You're like, tell me when.
Yeah.
Tell me when. You're like,
Yeah.
I've been there for 10 minutes. And,
yeah. Right.
know,
Right. You're right. I would imagine. I don't know. I've never heard that before. So I've never heard the tell me when thing. Yeah. I usually
Sure.
get, yeah.
Sure.
No, I'm good.
Okay. We'll do some interviews later.
Let's do that.
People.
I highly suggest anyone calls in, back me up 100%. No one talks to me anymore. It's been yeah, right. No one's going. No one's. It's been.
I
over.
really hope they do. Oh, I keep messing with my hair. I swear to God, what is it with women in their hair? I mean, totally different topic, but I keep playing with it. You know, everything that happens in life like has a direct effect on our hair. We get a divorce, we cut our hair. We're, all of a sudden married, we grow out our hair, get extensions, we color our hair, everything. I swear today, literally, it was like, I'm shaving it all off. Just shaving it all off. Done. I'm done with it.
Why? First of all, your hair looks fantastic. It looks really great.
Oh, thank you.
And I've always looked good, but it looks really good today. No, you look great. Did you shower for the show? Thank you so much. It's so sweet of you.
Shower, perfume, hair.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You go through the whole thing. That's right. I got news for you.
Really
I went to the gym. I didn't have time to shower. I literally came from the gym, changed my shirt, and put on a hat. That's what I did for the show. So I'm sitting here right now.
Well,
I'm disgusting.
I was gonna tell your viewers that right beforehand, we test the mic and all that. You showed up and you were just wearing boxes, and that would have been fine. I was like, come on, let's do this. Last time you were in your robe, I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't a robe. I remember that.
Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
I think that's a good look. Show up in a Hugh Hefner thing with a cigar.
I love it. That's the name of my fantasy baseball team because I did my fantasy baseball draft in that robe as well. And my friends gave me shit about it. And so I called my team
the name?
Hefner's Robe.
Oh,
that's the name of the team.
Nice.
Yeah, because they kept
just
calling me
his robe. Nobody in there, just the robe.
Just the robe. Yeah, that's all I called the team. But I wore the robe for the whole draft. Yeah, it was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. That's really good.
Hey, I'm glad to talk.
You have 2 girls, so you know about the hair and all that crap.
Yeah, I know. Well, they can't. Yeah, they take. I can't. I gotta stay away from them when they're getting ready. They're never. I'm at the point now with them where I got to give them an hour ahead of time. Like if we have to be somewhere at 3 and I have to leave at 2, I tell them we have to leave at 1. That's what I do. I give myself an extra hour because otherwise they're panicking. They always panic, and then when we get close to time to leave, they're like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." I'm like, "It's all good, man. Don't worry about it. We got plenty of time." Don't. And most of the time we're late playing. I don't care unless we do like a time thing, like a movie or a ball game. But if it's dinner or something like that, I go, I don't care. Just let me know when you're ready. We'll go. And
then they start over because they messed up, and then it's even longer.
I do.
Because you rushed them.
Well, they won't. Anna's really good about it, getting it done. But Lily will try something. Lily likes to experiment and try something different, and then it goes south. And then it's a shit show for like an hour. It's just chaos and screaming and hair and hats. And I'm not wearing a hat. I'm like, okay, you don't have to wear a hat. You can do whatever you want to do, man. And I'm so passive. I don't sit here going, I'm not doing any of that crap,
Yeah.
So I'll let them move at their pace because I get it. It's way harder for them. I literally can be ready in 4 minutes. You know what I mean? No matter
Oh,
what we do.
I believe it. I
Yeah.
believe it. That's why I never understood why women were complaining about wearing masks. It's like you never have to do anything to your face. You
Yeah,
put on
that's
some
right.
sunglasses, you put on the
Yeah.
mask, you go all day, and nobody will know what you look like under
Right.
that. Why are
Well,
you complaining?
people had more. People spent more time though on things like eyeliner and mascara because all you see is the eyes. So my daughters go through
Right.
eyeliner and mascara like crazy, but everything else, that's it. That's all they have. So but their eyes look great. But
Right.
you're right. You don't have to worry about anything.
That's funny. Yeah, I like her hair though. I love that. Is it purple, blue?
Lily's hair
What's
now
that?
is I don't know. She just signed a deal to be work as a model with a hairstylist in Hollywood. So they just did damn what they do. They did blue, and they're going to change it next week to something else.
Wait, blue?
I think so.
Where
I
did they
can't
glow?
remember. I have no
A
idea.
blue eye?
I don't know. I let her. I'm like, you can do whatever you want to her. I don't care. I go, just be careful because I understand. Like one time we were on a ship and she wanted to do it dark and she's naturally blonde and so we dyed it black. And
Ooh.
yeah, apparently her mom got mad at me and it was a thing. And I didn't realize, it's your shocking hair. Then you can damage hair if you color it too much, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I experimented last summer. I wanted pink hair, so I had to bleach it first,
Right. Right.
and so it strips the color, ruins your hair. It's awful. And then I had to put the pink color into it. I didn't come out looking pink. I was more like what does my son say? Like that orange cream soda, you know?
Like
Like it was like
orange,
Little Mermaid.
like orange cream, like creamsicle.
Creamsicle. That's it. I can never remember the name. And he's like, "You look like a creamsicle." And somebody else said, "You look like a mermaid." You know, the what's her name, Ariel, the mermaid with the orange hair. It was awful.
Oh no.
It's supposed to be pink. It
Did you
wasn't.
did you let it grow out or did you color it?
Oh, I changed it back after a while. Well, I was also running for city council,
Oh, that's right.
so
Right.
the very open-minded liberal Democratic Party said, "Oh, you're going to change your hair back to your natural brown, right?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I expect that from the Republican Party, but
Yeah.
not from the Democratic Party. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not
You
changing
guys are
that.
little uptight liberals. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be able to do whatever I want.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
All right,
yeah,
whatever you want.
yeah,
Well, how's it
not
going?
fun.
How's it going down there in Orange County, man? How you doing? You guys are teary yellow now. You guys are getting out doing stuff,
Yeah,
right?
it's getting better. People, get vaccinated, like you said, just get it done, and which is interesting because that was my other story for you. Is I have a client. Well, it's not really a client. He wanted to be a client who is so against vaccines. I
Wait, is
mean,
his name Chewy? Is it?
close.
Okay. I just
No.
want to. I just want to know. I want to know. I'll make sure I know where I'm at. Okay.
Who is this Chewy person? I keep hearing
Chewy
it.
is.
What
I'm
is
sorry.
it?
I can't give you Chewy's secret identity. I can't do that. But he's related to Tammy Mulligan. I can tell you that. Who's one of the Patreon members?
Oh, it's a real person.
Oh, Chewy's a real person. Yeah.
Oh, I
He's-
thought it was like some made up character.
Well, he's here's the deal. He tears Tammy and Vince Mulligan. Tammy and Vince Mulligan.
Yeah.
Actually, Vince has been around longer than anybody. Tammy and Vince because they saw me on ships like years ago. And but anyway, Vince played the role of Chewie, and so they sent you the picture, and he did the mask, and he did the whole thing. But that was Vince, who watches the show regular. They're both walking it right now. They're actually laughing hysterically. But I told them, yeah, but they let you off the hook too early. I told you they could have dragged it off like like a couple of days would have been the best. And I could have got involved. I was like, hey, did you hear from my friend Chewy? I would have loved to have done that. Then I mean, if I.
Well, now they're gonna do it again, and
Yeah,
I'm totally gonna fall for it because I always fall for everything. I'm so gullible. I believe in people. I believe in the best of people, and I get caught every single time. The craziest shit people will text me, and I believe it. And other matchmakers were like, "Oh, that's a fake person. They're just messing with you." I'm like, "No, I think he's a real person.
Right.
I want to help." And then I realized, "Oh no, that's a crazy person." But anyway, I got a potential client who really, really wants to work with me. Speaking of vaccines, and he doesn't believe in any vaccine, like any kind of vaccines. Like he wants to get married, he wants to have kids, but he will not ever get them vaccinated,
Right.
ever. So I said, okay, so your wife is going to have to homeschool them because you're very old school, very conservative. You want the wife to stay home and be a housekeeper and a nanny and everything, or private school. Like, how can you never vaccinate your kids, right? So,
Yeah.
and not only can, so his other thing was, and those are like top on his list.
But you
She
can't even do
cannot
that
get COVID
anymore,
vaccine.
right? Your kid's got to be vaccinated, right?
Well, if you go to private school,
Yeah, there's
some
certain
private
right.
schools,
Okay.
they don't care. So, but not only that, but it was so high on his list that not only that she cannot get vaccinated for COVID,
Mm-hmm.
she can't even think about it. And if she can't smoke, she can't drink, she can't smoke weed. And not only that, but she can't think that smoking, drinking, and smoking weed is okay. So it's not enough that she doesn't do it, but she has to think that it's not okay too.
Oh, okay. Where do you find these guys? How do you find these crazy alpha male? I need her to bake only. You know, how do you find these guys? I have a theory. I think guys like that look for matchmakers because they can't
So
find
they
anyone.
do.
They have to
Yeah,
because they can't find anyone on their own. If they meet
right.
someone like at a bar, if they meet a real person, after
Hmm.
like not halfway through the first dinner, that she's got to be like, "You're insane. There's no way." You know what I mean? There's not many second dates with guys like that. I don't think.
That's essentially what happens. He's like, I've been on many first dates
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's it.
Right.
I'm like, well, yeah, clearly. It's like that guy who was putting on his online dating profile that he wants young women with young children, preferably boys. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, okay, she may go out with you the first time, but as soon as you keep telling her that and asking the age of her children, and you want to make sure that they're boys, I mean, what is the first thing the mother is going to think?
Yeah.
You're a freaking pedophile.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't find them; they find me. They really they find me.
Well, that makes I think that makes sense because I would think crazy guys like that because they got to find every other option. Every other option isn't working for them. Plus, you're someone that listens to them. It's not like you go to Tinder or a dating profile where you just type in shit and people ignore you, and you're like, "Why? I wonder why I'm not getting any hits or whatever." You know, that's one thing. But you're someone that goes, "Tell me what you want," and he's like, "Thank God, I can finally tell someone what I'm looking for. Here's what I want: young boys, lots of them. I want lots of young boys." With one woman who shuts up and brings her young boys to my house, and you're typing this down. I can't.
Right.
There's no one's going to be interested in this.
Right. Usually, I'm like, you know, I don't want to waste your time. We're done.
Yeah.
But I mean, or like this other guy who said he's already had kids. He's got grown kids, but he has a really bad relationship with his daughters, and he can't relate to them. So he wants to start with a new family. Am I frozen?
That sounds so messed up. That sounds
So
so
instead of
messed up.
working
I
on your
can't-
relationship with your current children,
Yeah.
he wants to start a whole new
Sure.
family because he just doesn't understand his kids.
Right.
Let's just start over. Let's just forget they exist.
That's horrible. That's horrible. You know what?
I don't know.
I'm washing my hands of this family. This didn't go well at all. Let's bring in a whole new family and see if we can get it right this time around. That's terrible.
Exactly. So I said, well, what if you know, clearly you make girls. So what if you have more girls? Oh, no, I'm going to make sure it's boys. Oh, okay. So you're just going to go and pay for, you know, in the petri dish where they separate yeah, I'm going to do that. You're going to play God. Okay, sure. But I can't help you, but good luck.
Is it a family name thing? You know what I mean? You know, like in China, where they don't, because they only frown upon women in China, right? They only, if you have a boy, you're great, but if you have a girl, because they have the thing where first of all, they can only have one kid, and if you have a girl, there's so many girls that have no families. You know, they get rid of the girls a lot.
They still do that. I think that there was a period of time they did, and the government mandated that, but I don't think they still do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't, but I don't know. You know, this whole thing, and it was a white guy. It was a white man. He wasn't from China. He wasn't, you know, just sexist against girls. I don't know, but I think just matchmaking in general is just so unrewarding, and people think you will be all fun and games and, oh my God, I'm young and hot and I can be a matchmaker. I find, you know, hot guys hit on me all the time. And it's like, you know, the day you find out that the couple you set up is getting married and you didn't find out from them, you realize how shitty this job is.
Oh,
they just didn't tell me.
Oh, that's kind of crappy. They
Oh
should
yeah.
tell you. They should be all right. You should be, thanks a lot. At least get an
Most
invite,
people,
a
most
card.
people will send me a gift card.
Yeah.
Yes, a thank you card, a nice Louis Vuitton bag, something.
Well, look at you. Are you throwing out suggestions now? Is that what you're doing?
You know,
Oh, I'm
I'll
just
take the
saying.
Gucci. I'll take any name really.
Sure.
So there's a nice Tiffany necklace that I've been looking at. So, but yeah, these people just didn't even bother. And another client told me because she knows them, and I was like, wait, really? Oh my god, I'm so happy for them. But wow, yeah, crazy business, crazy business.
How
Not easy.
so are you now? We're coming out of the pandemic. Are you busy? There's got to be a lot of people looking for matches right now, right? I mean, there's not,
Oh,
because I'm on the dating apps and there's nothing on those dating apps right now. You know what I mean? All those dating
you
apps
are.
are.
What dating apps are you on?
Well, I'm gonna have it because I was on I'm on Tinder and Plenty of Fish, but I'm
Tinder?
also yeah, but I don't.
So it's
I haven't really tried.
fun.
I'm not on Match or anything. You know what it was? I went on a date a couple of weeks ago, and then I'm going on a second date. So I was like, well, then when that happens, I don't need to be on the app anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be looking for a backup. I think that's stupid. You know what I mean? If I find someone and things are going well, or we have at least a second date, I don't want to have like 4 options going. Well, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to go back on Tinder and try this. So I haven't really pushed it much, but I do because I talked to my friend, a couple of friends. And most of the guys on the apps are telling me they're not. There's not a lot on the apps. There's not a lot of. They're not getting a lot of action on the apps. You know what I mean? Not getting a lot of matches.
Well,
Not a lot of
I
that.
mean, it depends. It depends on your profile. It depends on your pictures. It
Right,
depends on
right,
what you say. I mean, everybody's online, right? So if they're not
right.
on Tinder, they're on some other app. But I don't know. I think Tinder was always kind of more of like just a fun hookup site. But I do know people that actually got married from meeting on Tinder.
Yeah,
So quite a few people actually. So I mean, if this is going well, that's great.
yeah.
I know last time we talked, you weren't really interested in anything serious, but
I'm still not interested really in anything serious. I'm just kind
were
of
you going on a second date just to see?
yeah. Let's see what happens. Yeah, maybe it
Well,
will
good.
become. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I can't. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you have two choices, right? I sit at home and don't do anything, or I meet
Right.
someone, go out once or twice, and then I'm like, actually, this is pretty cool, and you go out another time, and another time, and another time, right? Isn't that kind of how it
There you
goes?
go.
You tell me, you're the
There you
matchmaker.
go. It kind of goes that way, yes, normally. But I mean, I don't know on Tinder. I don't know that typically how it goes on Tinder. I think Tinder is just like
Oh
let's
no,
have
Tinder's
fun.
much more of
And
a yeah. That's
I
my
may or may not call you tomorrow. Yeah, kind of thing.
that's my wheelhouse. I like Tinder. It's more of just like hey, what are you doing? And then actually, no one I've met on Tinder. One person I met on Tinder I dated for a while. You know what I mean? Everyone else is pretty.
It's a while, like
Wow.
a few months.
We dated for a few months and then we split and then we got back together and dated again for almost a year.
Huh.
So
Wow. Okay,
yeah. So
that's not bad.
no, it
That's
wasn't.
pretty good.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was bad at all. It was cool and it was great. But that was the only person I met on Tinder. She also was one of the only normal people I met on Tinder. Most of the people I met on Tinder were crazy. Almost everyone on
Right.
Tinder were completely insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it depends on the person too, right? I mean, you may think that you're just looking for something fun and nothing serious, and then it may be the right person,
Right.
and you end up really wanting to spend a lot of time with them. So I think it
Right.
just depends on the situation. And I was talking to a friend about this a few days ago. We were talking about soulmates and who you being that person's person. You know how we all have a person. I believe there's multiple people. I
Right.
don't believe in soulmates. I think we could have multiple soulmates, and they come at different time in your life, right? Different stages of your life. You may have a soulmate when you were in high school. You may have a soulmate when you're in your 20s and 30s. So
Right.
the right time. It's all whether it's the right time or not.
Well, I agree. I kind of agree with that because I don't think you have one soulmate. I think you have multiple, and I think a lot of those have to do with the fact where you were in a past life. So these are people you came across
Ooh,
in past lives and were connected with in past lives, and you bump into them. You bump into them spiritually in this life, and there's a connection. And I think those are the people you're connected. I don't think there's one person that's perfect for everyone.
right.
I definitely think
Totally.
there's people that you connect with, and I think that really comes from. I just think that comes from past lives. I could be crazy, but that's what I think.
Yeah, I really believe in that. I really believe in past lives and that we meet people sometimes in this life who may have been from a past life. And it was interesting because I was so obsessed with it for a while that I actually went to someone who, I don't know if she was a medium or psychic. I know they don't like to be called that, but I went to a few and they all told me the same thing. They told me that, they don't know anything about me. And right away they'll start saying things like, you have a thing with Black people, don't you? I'm like, how did you know? You've always wanted to adopt a Black child, and you have this thing for the continent of Africa, like you feel for them, and you love it. You want to know all about the culture, everything, and you were a slave in your past life. It's like, wow, that kind of makes sense, right?
Okay.
She told me a lot of stuff, but a lot of it came back to that. And I came home, I told my kids that. They're like, whatever.
Whatever.
You just threw away $200 or whatever. I'm telling them the story and I'm crying. I was a slave. I was a child. I was a slave. And, and then she said that my grandparents were in the Holocaust, and they're like, Mom, your grandparents were in the Holocaust. Like, she didn't have to tell you this. Like, how much information did you give her ahead of time?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't give her that much information.
Yeah. Did you not? Because sometimes you give them too much and they dig. Because I had a job as a psychic for a while. I had a job as a phone psychic.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of patterns they teach you, the questions to ask. There's certain questions you ask that they go, always ask this question. And one of them is, you've had an abortion. That's a big one. They go, and then you go, or no, you've had a miscarriage, because the percentage of women that have miscarriage are very, very high. So, and if you say but you don't say, did you have a miscarriage? You say, oh, what happened to your, you've had a child, but how many children do you have? Oh, you have, we have, they'll go, how many kids do you have? I have 2. You don't have 3? No, 2. Then you had a 3rd. Oh. You did have it. You know what I mean? And that's how you spin it around. So, and I had that job for 2 days and I had to quit. I actually got fired. I was really shitty at it. I was really bad at it. I couldn't do it. It was terrible. It was a really bad job. But I do think there's a lot that are scammers and bullshitters, but there are some that are not. And I've gone to a couple psychics where they've looked at me out of the blue when I've walked through the door and they've said, you need to fix things with your mom now because she's not well and you got to call her. And I'm like, like, it's just out of the blue without information, with no information, because you can take little things and then you can assume things and kind of lie and bullshit your way through it. But when they come at you with information off the top, that one blew me away. There are a couple things she said about me, my brother, my aunts, and I was like, holy shit. Okay. And I didn't say shit because I purposely went in going, let's see how good, let's see.
Right. I'm not going to say a word.
I'm not saying nothing. I almost gave her bullshit too. I almost was going to say I'm a clown. I come from, I come from Iowa. I have 9 sisters. I was going to throw all this bullshit out there. But the second I walked in the door, she said something that was completely real to me. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I was like everything she said, I was just sucked it in. It was intense.
Wow.
She was amazing. Yeah.
This was someone in LA or
no? This was in Chicago years ago. This was in Chicago a long time ago. Yeah, it was in the suburbs.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I believe in it. Until they start telling me things that are like, well, you could have just looked all this up. I have a book that I talk about my grandparents during the war and all that stuff. So it's really hard. You have to go in and I have to give my fake name.
Yeah, give them a different name. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, same with you, right? You're out there, like social media.
Yeah, because now all they could do is Google you. They could Google either one of us and find out a whole bunch of information about somebody without even paying for it. I mean, there's options where you could go, where you could buy, you pay. I want information or background check, but if you just Google, you'd be amazed what you can find about somebody when you just Google them. And especially if you're in the social media spotlight, like me and you, they can Google you and just start reading your site, and then boom, before you know it, they know a ton of shit about you.
They know everything, and they know your weak points. I'm always posting about sappy things or, orphans or whatever. All the things that tug at my heartstrings, are my annoying children, and how my 15-year-old is refusing to date Jewish girls. And I asked him that the other day. I actually asked him, I'm like, why don't you want to ever date Jewish girls? And he goes, I don't want to deal with another you.
Wow.
I
harsh. Okay.
I know. I was like, okay, that was really mean. I mean,
Yeah,
he
that was
did
pretty
say that,
mean.
he did say that I'm mostly tough and I'm mostly a fun person. But once in a while, what did he say? He said something like, you get very needy and smothering and loud. And you know what he calls me? He calls me, and this is in Russian, he calls me Zolotaya Ryba. Zolotaya Ryba is a goldfish in Russian. I didn't understand what he was calling me.
A goldfish?
Why he was calling me that? Yeah.
Why are you called a goldfish?
Because I move from one subject to another and I have no memory, and I literally just jump from like one thing to another to another to another. So every time we'll be talking at dinner, we'll be talking about something about his AP chemistry or whatever, and then I'll say, oh, did you cut your nails? Are you gonna wash your hair today? He's like, yes, goldfish. It took me I don't know how many months to figure out. I thought, oh, that was such a cute pet name for me, nickname, whatever, and no, mom, it was not a positive thing.
Well, it's also an ADD thing. It could be ADD or what is it, ADHD. It's the same. You know what I mean?
Probably.
It's the whole distraction. It's like squirrel. I'm like, yeah. That's so. I don't know. Goldfish is kind of harsh. I'd rather they could call you Dory.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, right? Then I would know.
Right.
Then I would really know.
He was trying to hide from you. Yeah, he was
right. He's been teaching himself Russian, so he's been saying these things. And, you have to understand that I was 13 when I moved here. So my level of Russian pretty much ended at 13. So when I talk to my parents or when I talk to any other Russians, the way I talk is kind of like on a teenage level, right? I don't have big words. I don't have very intelligent words, vocabulary, right? So he's really outgrown me already, the way he's speaking in Russian. And he'll ask me this, because in Russian there's so many ways. It's like in Spanish, he, she, past, future, whatever, all those little tenses. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to explain it to him. I'm like, this is just how you say it, but why? I have no idea. I can't explain to him. I call Grammy, call Grandpa, because my education level of I can speak it, but I can't explain to you why I'm saying what I'm saying. This is just the way you say it. It's not good enough for him. So this has been very interesting.
Well, at least he's trying to learn Russian. That's not bad, right? But I don't know why he would call you goldfish. That's just kind of mean. This is the 15-year-old, right?
Isn't it mean?
Yeah, it is mean. I think
he's
so.
Almost 16. It's very mean. Yeah, but he says it in a loving way.
It's okay. All right.
Whatever.
I've heard that reference before. Yeah, but I mean it in a sweet way. Oh, okay. All right, thanks.
Right. I didn't mean to call you an idiot. I mean, it was in a kind, sweet way.
But I say idiot lovingly. I say it with love.
Right. See, and I always thought that it was just being a mom, like you just, being a parent, especially when they're young, eating everything in a loop over and over again. Go take a shower. Go take a shower. Go wash your hair. Go cut your nails. Go do that. So as we're talking and I'm looking at his fingers and they're super long, that's where my mind goes. Why haven't you cut your nails? Right. When was the last time you washed your hair? He's like, can we just have a conversation? Like without you, judging me. I'm like, I'm not judging you. I just want you to go do it.
Well, I can see that too. My daughters do that too because every time we have a conversation, they get sometimes they get very defensive. And I'm coming off like a dad. I get it. I remember when I was a teenager. Everything my mom said, you're like,
yeah, but you have to be really careful with girls because with girls, that's even more. I mean, typically girls are more sensitive. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I mean, be careful. They're behind you with a knife.
No. I just realized my light went out on the sign. I was like, what the? Oh. Okay, sorry.
Oh, I didn't even see there was one. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I was just gonna say that with girls, I feel like you have to be even more like picking your words, right? And nowadays, like you can't comment on their weight, positive or negative. You can't say this positive or negative. You just gotta tell them they look great.
There's a trick. There's a trick to everything you say. You know what I mean? You got to find the right way to say it. It's almost like pitching a script. You gotta put them in the position where they think it's their idea and their suggestion. You got to somehow lead them down that road, and then they go, well, maybe I should do this. And you're like, oh, that's a great idea. I would have never thought of that. That's really smart. Right. Because then it's a double compliment. You go, you're really smart, man. I never would have even thought about that in a million years.
All right. Or just do what therapists do. Well, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, right.
What do you think that means?
Right.
And what does that say? It's just that it's so frustrating for me because I get so involved in everybody's lives, and I can't do that. To opinion, I have to tell them my
They
opinion. I have
need
to
to
tell them
know
I
what
look
your
like an
opinion.
idiot.
Really? They need to know. Well, look, I need to get my opinion out there. Otherwise, they're just.
Yeah. It's bad. It's a problem. I don't know if it's a Russian thing or a Jewish thing or it's just a Julia thing. I don't
Maybe a
know.
Julia thing. It's kind of a
It
woman
really
thing
is.
too.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
probably, yeah. But I realize that sometimes even when I'm talking with clients, I have to kind of pull back a little bit, and just let them talk and not be immediately like, well, you're just an idiot. Like who does that?
That can't be good
Why
for
do people
business.
do that?
It can't be good for business. And the first initial comes. Well, you're an idiot. What?
Right? I can't. And then, for a while, I was using the Dr. Phil's phrase. Remember that whole thing? He would always say, well, how's that been working for you?
Wow.
They
Right.
tell me about how they want this, and that. And the other day I posted, I don't know if you saw, it was a picture I posted of a cheeseburger or hamburger, and there was like all kinds of weird crap in it, candy
Oh
and
no, I didn't see it.
mushrooms.
Okay.
And he was like, this is what you all idiots look like when you ask for 100 things in one person. It's like weird shit in there, like toilet paper and whatever else in that burger. I don't know what it was. I can't remember now. My memory is of a goldfish. But I actually remember that, which is shocking. I don't remember much. That's probably why I text people so much and I have to ask the same questions over and over again. I mean, I feel bad anyone that works with me because unless I write every single thing down, I must really just, it doesn't like sink in.
Yeah.
I forget, I haven't smoked that much weed in my life to have no brain cells left.
You could
maybe.
You could easily have ADHD. I'm sure I got it. I do that stuff all the time. I forget stuff. I get, you know what I mean? Also we got so much going on. You're not, we don't do one thing anymore. We don't just go to work and come home and make dinner or whatever. Especially someone like you. You've got your kids, you got your own career, you got matchmaking, you got websites, you got all this. I mean, you got people calling you. You know what I mean? You got 50 million things going on at once. You've written a book. You can do that much stuff. You're scattered all over the place, so your head is filled with stuff. So just
I know. I have to force myself to just sit sometimes, just sit and watch a show.
I love that. I love just not even watching a show. Sometimes I like to sit when it's quiet. And my girls the girls will come in and go, what are you doing? I'll go, nothing. And they'll go, why? I go, just because I want to. It's a good feeling to sit here and just clear your head. And I try to think of blankness and not really do. I listen to a lot of that the music, the megahertz music on YouTube and you know what I mean, and stuff like that.
I've heard of that.
And I sleep with white noise. You know what I sleep with now is I listen to the plain noise. Believe it or not, I listen to white noise, plain noise.
I love that noise.
Yeah,
me too. I have a noise machine. It's just white noise. It's just like it's almost like a fan. But yeah, I love the plain noise. Yeah. I mean, that's the only time I can sleep. It's so loud. The other day I woke up and I couldn't hear out of my right ear, I think it was. And it's been coming on and off. And, I should probably go to a doctor for that. But it was kind of nice not to hear anything. in my left
You think?
Ear,
why don't you? My eye fell out of my head. I don't know. I should probably go see a doctor about that.
It happens sometimes.
Sure.
But I'm also a huge hypochondriac. So, and we've talked about this before. So a lot of times I'm like, well, is it just in my head? And then Nicholas was like yelling for me like all throughout the day. He's like, it is not in your head. Go to the fucking doctor. You cannot hear. I'm like, oh, sometimes as a hypochondriac, you're like, yeah, this is just in my head. And then on my left ear, I don't hear as well. I mean, I probably hear 75%. But so if I lay on that ear and the other ear, I don't hear anything at all. It's amazing.
Right.
It's just like, wow. Sometimes it's nice not to hear.
Yeah, that's got to be great. Then you can zone everybody out. Doesn't matter if he calls you a goldfish or not. You don't care. You can't hear it.
Sure.
You just lay there.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to
probably get it checked out.
You should probably get what?
Get it checked out.
the ear thing. I'm with your son. I got to be with your son on that one.
Is that when you start hearing noises inside your head, or is that just like a psychopath behavior? Does that happen?
Well, both of those are a problem. I don't think either one is one you should go. Wait a minute, let me get this straight. Either you can't hear or you're hearing voices in your head. Which is it? Neither of those are good. Neither of those are
Wait,
good
you don't
things.
hear voices in your head? I thought that was normal.
It's totally normal. No, I hear your voice in my head. That's what's weird.
I know, right?
Yeah,
It's annoying.
yeah. It's
I know.
your voice
I've heard
constantly.
that a lot. Yeah. Why aren't you replying? Why aren't you replying? Why aren't you replying?
How many times do I got to call you? It's ridiculous. I have an idea. Let's go on the road.
No, I don't call because I'm too lazy. I'll just keep texting and bugging the shit out of people.
I would rather have the text. I have a couple of friends I have a brother and a friend, two friends that have to call, and I almost don't answer the phone anymore. I'm like, I would rather text.
Yeah.
I would rather go, nah, I can't call. I just send a message. But my brother Andy, I would love my brother Andy, but he's still one of these guys that can get on the phone and talk for like an hour and a half. Oh. And I'm like, I can't do that. I got 10 minutes in me tops. You know what I mean? On the phone.
You know what? My brother is like that too. And I love my brother, of course. And I'm sure he's probably listening. But he does, and he gets into these stories. And I always told him, you gotta like start a podcast or something, because I do stories, but he does stories and he takes them double the time. So he actually started a podcast because his stories just have no end. And my kids are like that. Sometimes I tell them, it's like, you're not my kid, you're my brother's kid, because they just go on and on and on,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, like that.
Yeah. Just like that.
Just like that. Done. Like that. Well, my dad told me I can never finish my sentences, so now I try to finish them real quick.
Oh, real quick. Wait. Let me get this out. Well, at least you're trying to finish them. All right, let me go to the board. I want to go to the board because people have questions for you. I want to get to these questions. Okay. I know Tammy. I think Tammy said, how many people do you turn away a week for matchmaking?
Oh my god. Oh, all of them? No.
All of them.
A lot, especially in Orange County, where people are just so selfish and so self-absorbed and so unrealistic.
Yeah.
But it has been better with COVID. I think people realize that, holy cow, like I need to be a little more open-minded, or I'm going to end up being single. So I turn away a lot of people. It doesn't fulfill me anymore. It just doesn't make me happy anymore. I still do it because I will only take on people I truly like. Like truly
sure,
like.
Of course, yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense, because if you're going to spend time with them, why would you deal with people? That's a huge advantage you have, and it's powerful to be able to say no.
Respect them.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Yeah, because otherwise you're wasting your time, and then God forbid you're in a situation. Because then once you agree to work with someone you don't want to work with, you've got to keep working with this person until the job is done, or until you know what I mean. Once they pay you, you have to do the job.
Or refund their money. And then it sucks because a lot of the work is done ahead of time.
Right.
So I just did all this work and I interviewed all these people and we have done so much. And then I can't help them, or they're just being completely unrealistic. And honestly, I don't give out refunds because I want to finish and because I want to help.
Well, also in this day and age, in this Yelp generation, you almost don't have the choice to do that, because you give a refund and then they bury you on Yelp, and that's, you know what I mean? All it takes is a couple of those and you're in trouble, and then you're screwed. And you have no leg. Yelp is the worst for any, like I had this situation when I was running the restaurant. Yelp will make people complain on Yelp, and then suddenly your rating goes down. You're like, wait a second, that guy was an asshole. He was in here yelling at everybody, and now he cost me business? That's ridiculous.
And there's nothing you can do. But I found a way around it. I have them sign a thing in my contract saying, before you're going to be an asshole and go on Yelp, and because you didn't get this unicorn of a woman, it's usually the men that do this. And most people, with psychology, it's kind of, most likely people will leave a negative review over a positive review. I've been asking people to leave me a review about my book. You know how many people have read my book? I think like 3 people left a review, because it's that hard to get people to write a positive review.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Negative reviews, in a second.
Right. You never hear about the good. We used to say the same thing when you work on cruise ships. Like anytime the cruise director would be like, "I have to talk to you," I'm like, "Well, I know it's not a compliment. There's no way that someone pulled you aside and said how great the show was. I'm sure somebody wasn't happy with something." He goes, "Yeah, there was a complaint about this. People complain they get all the time in the world, man. They, and they will
What
pound
did
out
they
like a
complain
5-page letter sometimes about stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, the big
What
long
could they
letters.
complain about a comedy show?
Well,
I don't understand.
Well, it on the cruise ships it's easy because on a lot of the cruise a lot of those shows have to be clean and not offensive. So anytime a guest says I was offended, then the cruise director goes they were offended. Whether or not you think it were offensive or not doesn't matter. If they're offended and they said something, it's like doing a corporate show or whatever. It's different when you do an adult show. But even then with adult shows, because like cruise ships are kind of like big corporate gigs, which is different because then you really got to work. You're kind of working for the corporation, and you can't cross a certain line. As opposed to a comedy club, you can do whatever the hell you want. They don't like you, they leave. No one gives a shit. You're like, fucking go home. I don't care. You know what I mean? I've given people money before, dude. I'm like, what'd you pay for the ticket? I go, here's $40. Get out of here. Go, leave, and they'll leave. But you can get away with that in a club because it's really about in the club. It's just about being a stand-up comic, being a good comic, and comics are offensive. A lot of comics are offensive. You know what I mean? And they just are.
The thing. That's the whole thing of comedy.
It is.
If you're not offending
Well, if some people are funny though, some people they think it's funny if other people are offended. But then when they're offended, they're like, whoa. Like we were told on the cruise ships, especially the back end, we were told not to do any material about Trump. No Trump material. Nothing.
Really?
Yeah, nothing political. Because there's a huge chunk of people on cruise ships that were Trump supporters. There was a lot of people, and they're the first ones that will complain. Like we used to get, what was the one that we used to talk about freedom of speech. So any Trump supporter will be the first one to go, I can say whatever the hell I want, blah, blah, blah. Freedom of speech, my freedom. This whole bullshit they've been laying this last year with the masks. Don't take away my freedom. Like, shut up. We're not taking away freedom. We're trying to live, moron. Shut up. But so they'll complain about, I have the right to say, I can do whatever you can't. And they can say, and that's the line they cross is they can be hateful and use hate speech. And they can say things, and they go, well, I have a right to say whatever I want. But then when you go, Trump's an idiot, they're like, whoa. Don't do that. Don't insult our president. Like, wait a second. You can say death to everyone or death to liberals or you know what I mean. And if the second you say something, anything bad about Trump, so all the cruise lines just said, don't do any more Trump material, which was never an issue for me because I didn't do a lot of Trump stuff. I didn't. Most of my stuff revolves around Most of my stuff revolves around me and my screw ups or whatever. So. Yeah. But those people, they're the first to complain because they're always like freedom of speech. Everyone's fine with freedom of speech until it offends them. Then they're like, well, you can't say that.
And what they believe. But it makes sense because the people that take cruises for the most part, not a lot, but, Carnival, because you've been on Carnival, it's mostly white older people. So
well, it depends on the cruise. The long cruises are like anything over 7 days. You're right. 100. You're right. Anything over 7 days. Anything 3 days, 5 days. That's not the case. It's younger people and it's different style. It's different people of color. It's a lot of different people. It's a younger, hipper generation on 3 and 5 day cruises. Just because they're cheaper and Carnival they cater differently. It's more of a party ship and a hangout, and the other ones like Royal and Norwegian. Sometimes those are longer cruises, and honestly. Older white people, the older people with money can afford to go away for 7 days and take
retired.
A week off. Right, exactly.
Right, they're retired. They have nothing else to do. Okay, this is totally off topic. Goldfish.
Sure.
What is that flag behind you? I mean to ask you every time.
That one back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Chicago City flag.
Oh, okay. I had no idea what it was. I was like looking it up and stars, green stripe. Is that green or blue?
I think it's blue. No, it should be blue. It's like a blue and red. Blue, red, blue, red, white, and blue. It's red, white, and blue. Red stars, white flag. Yeah. It's Chicago flag.
It looks green to me. So I'm like, red stars and green stripes. What flag is that?
Maybe it is green.
I don't know. Palestine?
Yeah. Is it It could be. I don't know. No, it is Chicago. That's
sounds familiar. I don't know.
It could be. I'm not really sure.
No, I know.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Julia, you mentioned this is Brenda Runyon. Julia, you mentioned isn't rewarding. Have you thought about trying to find something else to do? Oh, okay. If you think matchmaking isn't rewarding, have you thought about trying to find something else to do?
I really want to do comedy. I'm really terrified to do stand-up. I have tried, and I can pull my shit together and do it. I don't want to do it, but I
Right.
really want to do something more, and I don't know, maybe writing or something, So
That's perfect.
I'll find something.
That's a perfect segue for my next question. This is perfect. Thank you, Brenda. You set her up for this. Well, we'll see. But I do, besides this show, I do the other show every 2 months, the Reconnecting Comedy, which is a sketch show. Or it's like different sketches and improv. We were talking about doing a sketch where you're a matchmaker and you have to hook up one of the characters, which is Brenda's character. Brenda's a character named Myrtle, who can't get a date. And
is she an old Jewish lady?
No, I don't know if we've covered the nationality
Myrtle?
thing on her. Her name is Myrtle. You can find her online. She's in a couple of the shows. I don't have any Myrtle stuff right here.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, you can look it up. But the sketch would be you fixing Myrtle up with someone, and we were thinking about contacting my buddy Charlie, who was on the show a couple months ago, who is and he's an actor in his mid-20s, lives in Canada, and he's like a model. He's just perfect. You know what I mean? In fact,
Wait, was that the young kid?
Yeah.
You had a picture without a shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, I
tuned
in.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
tuned in for that. I had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah, that was the guy.
Didn't
That's
matter.
him. Yeah, right. It didn't matter. Yeah, he's pretty. So there you go. That's but he would be perfect for that sketch. Yeah, let's do it. We'll set. I'm working on it already. And it'll be Myrtle, and the premise is you're gonna hook her up with Charlie, and then he doesn't like cats, and then it gets weird, and that's where it's gonna go. But it'll be a sketch, and we'll shoot it,
Perfect.
and we shoot it similar to the way I do the other sketches, where I do kind of a setup like this, and we each have their own. It's almost like a Zoom thing. It's just easier to do it that way. Everybody's in their own location because Charlie's in Canada, you're in Orange County, Brenda's in Florida, and I'm here. But yeah, we'll do that for the next show. The next show is July 3rd, so we'll shoot it before. I'll have it all written. Next week is when I start working on the sketches for the show. But we'll talk next week, and I'll get it figured out. But you'll be good in that. You'll be perfect. Yeah, there's some comedy for you.
Yeah.
You can be funny.
Yeah, and if not, then I'm going to answer a question. If that doesn't work out, which, I have a funny story about that real quick. I know you're going to cut me off because you want to go eat dinner. Last time you cut me off because you had to go drop off your kids somewhere. But
I'm not in a hurry. I'm fine. I'm not going anywhere. Anna turned the oven. I'm good.
She did. Okay.
Plus, I prepped dinner before.
People are hungry.
What?
Okay, good. I don't like when people are hungry. So,
no.
Wait, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, the funny
goldfish.
story. So I was gonna do. I joined TikTok and I was gonna do a funny video. It's gonna take me a year to learn how to use that damn thing.
Yeah.
So I was calling around for like managers, agents, and stuff, right? So I called the Creative Arts Agency, CAA, right?
Yeah.
And I was gonna do a funny thing, like they literally. They answer the phone and she's like, how can I help you? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm looking for a representation. Yeah, we don't do that. Well, what do you mean? You guys are agents. Like, this is what you do. Well, do you know somebody in here? If I knew somebody in here, would I be calling and asking, I'm looking for a representation? Like, I'd give you the guy's name or the girl's name, right? Well, you have to know somebody in the agency. That's how it works. It's by invitation only.
Right.
So I'm like literally on the phone 10 minutes with her. Like, how the fuck is anyone supposed to get representation if you got to start somewhere?
Welcome to my world. Look,
so
this whole business is a huge catch-22. You can't get anywhere until you know somebody.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
So of course I ended up writing a nasty letter, which I'm going to be banned from all.
That's let me give you a lesson about Hollywood right now. That's no way to start things out.
Listen, they got to learn. This is not how you treat people.
I'm sure that they're going to learn, and they'll be more than happy to take your call next time you call.
Totally. I'm going to change my
your
name.
face and your letter is going to be painted in every agency across Beverly Hills. They're all going to know.
No, but listen, seriously, I think word got out that I'm calling agents because I called William Morris Agency, right?
Yeah.
Dude, they were so nice. The lady is like, oh, hold on one second, Julia, let me transfer you. Transfer me to some douche, I don't know, some 12-year-old. And he actually took notes. What do you do? Oh, you wrote a book. Oh, okay. You're interested in like some writing, comedy, whatever. Oh, okay. Tell me a little more about you. Okay, great. We'll give you a call. And, hangs up. Wait, so I called back. I'm like, wait, you didn't ask for my number. He goes, it's okay. We have caller ID. Yeah, but they transferred me, so you couldn't have gotten my number. He's like, just give me your fucking number. You think they're ever going to call me?
Yeah, I know. I don't think so. You're really not handling this submission thing very well.
Bridges everywhere.
Yeah, you're doing great. You called the guy a douche already. You don't even know who he is. Like, I got some douche, some 12-year-old. He doesn't have my number. I called him back. Jerk. Took notes.
Well,
Whatever.
The people they put in their phones, they're like interns anyway. So you probably forgot about it 5 minutes later.
Yeah, there's no way you were talking to an
hell?
agent. There's no way they transfer you to an agent. There's no way they transfer you to an agent. Yeah, right.
No,
Probably some guy in the mailroom. Hey, can you grab this phone? Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. What do you do? What do you want?
What do you do?
Okay, cool. Bye.
Do you want to be famous?
Yeah. I don't want to be famous. I just want to get some gigs. Really, you guys don't even have to pay me. Just send me on some gigs. I don't care.
Wow, you need a coach for your submission techniques too. Don't ever say the words "you don't have to pay me" or don't say any of that stuff. Don't call anyone a douche. You've broken every Hollywood rule in 12 seconds. You just broke every single one. Yeah.
Hey, I thought maybe it's like, George Costanza on Seinfeld. Remember the day where he did the complete opposite of everything that he ever did?
Yeah.
And that was the day he got everything. He got a job.
Yeah.
He got a girlfriend. He got laid. He got all of that. I'm like, all right, I'm going to try the opposite of being polite and proper and asking. I'm just going to barge in.
Just
I did tell him I'm going to show up tomorrow and ask in person. They're like, please don't show up. I'm like, why not? We'll try this again tomorrow.
You'll be in there asking for the kid. Where's is Lawrence here? There's no Lawrence here. I'm sorry, he quit. He quit this morning.
So I can call back and I can say I do know somebody in there. That guy.
I know Lawrence.
Can you talk to me now?
Yeah, help me out.
Yeah, I almost fell off the ball. I don't know if you saw it, but I caught myself.
I was trying to. That would have been the best. You didn't. All right, before we go, I'm going to ask you this question because I heard it on the radio today. And I'm like, that's the best. This is a great question for Julia. There was a big thing on the radio about how to have sex, and here's what it is. It's been a year since we've been in lockdown, and a lot of people haven't been dating and haven't been hooking up and haven't been having sex. So they were giving advice on the right things to do to have sex after not having sex for a year. So do you have any advice for our listeners who may have not had sex for a year?
Wow. Okay, that's a really good question. How do you know? Maybe I haven't been having sex in a year.
I don't know. You don't. I'm not saying you have. I'm not saying you haven't. I'm asking if you have the advice.
No. Yeah. I mean, huge thing, especially for men, if they're heterosexual men and they like women. Women like to be mentally stimulated first. We love great conversation, deep conversations first. You get a mind stimulated and everything else will follow. But I think that's the biggest advice I have for men. But I think for women is not to overthink everything and just go with it.
Sure,
because I think a lot of times
guys are a lot easier. I love those both explanations. Well, look, for guys, make sure you talk and use your words and mentally stimulate. For women, just do it. Just go. Just do it.
I'm telling you, my coaching is the worst part of the job. I'm a terrible coach.
No, that sounded accurate. That actually sounds accurate. I think that's 100% correct.
But I think it's true. We women overthink everything, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
So if you just want sex and you want to just get laid, just do it. Don't clear your mind. Don't think about it, and be honest and upfront about it. Don't be looking for a serious relationship if all you want is sex. And just obviously make sure you're both vaccinated and be safe and just do it. Really,
there you go. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Okay. All right.
A long time.
That's groundbreaking advice from Julia right there. Is just do it. What should we do if you want to have sex? Just do it, man. Just do it. Just do it.
Get some extra large Magnum condoms.
Sure. And maybe a giant like black fake penis. Yeah, that'll help you out.
Yeah.
Sure. Just a big, like twice the size of these balls. Right.
Softball.
Softballs.
Size of softball. Yeah, come prepared. Really.
Yeah. Have a little bit of everything. I have the big giant black dildo and then like a small little white one just in case, And the color maybe doesn't. You know what? Have a big giant white one and a small black one. You never know.
Have an array of things.
An array. Have an array. I love the hand gesture. It's the best. Have an array. Listen.
Let them choose what they would like.
Yeah.
Bring different styles.
Have options.
I don't even know what we're talking to you about anymore.
I don't know, but we got more viewers off that. The only advice Chewy says the best advice is to take a shower. Is that that's what he would start with.
My God. Yes, please. Especially men. Women, we prep.
Everything we do is especially men. Everything we do is especially men.
Men are gross. I'm sorry, but men are gross. I'm really leaning towards women, because men are really, really gross. And they think they don't need to do any of that work. Yes, you do. You need to shave your chest and your back.
Whoa. Stop. You have to shave your chest? Okay, that's where I'm out. I'm not shaving my chest. That's not happening.
No, trim it at least. Like, women don't want to see that. Less hair is better. Especially if it's
women
your
like
first
hairy
time.
chests. Some women are into hairy chests.
No woman likes the hairy chest.
Oh my God!
This
is anytime you go, no woman likes this. You're wrong. You know why? Because the women who do like hairy chests will never say anything in front of you. That's kind of like
no, they will. They're pretty honest. But okay, like next time you're with a woman who is appreciative, will you call me or text me and put her on the phone? We'll have a conversation about it.
Okay.
Like, I really want to know.
I want to know. Well, I really want to be with a woman again. So the second that happens, I will give you a call for sure.
There you go. I may go to women too. So, I'll call you.
There you go. You're working your way down the ladder. Black eyes, women. There you go. You'll find one.
Got to try it all, right? Yeah. No. I don't know. Leopards, tigers. I don't know.
Leopards? That's dangerous. That doesn't seem healthy at all.
I don't know why that just popped into my head.
A leopard or a tiger? All right, we got to go. It's 7:15. I got to go. All right, this was good. All right, this was good. This is a good show, man. Give Julia Bendis a round of applause. Wait, any other items you want us to shave or talk about before you get out of here?
Shave everything, please.
Okay. Well, I don't shave.
Okay, if you bought my book, if you haven't bought my book, please do.
Right.
No smiling loud. If you have, would you please do a review, please?
Oh yeah, please do a review. Okay, cool. Do a review of Julia's book.
My brother's going to kill me if I don't mention the name of his podcast. It's actually really good.
Okay.
It's something like, I don't agree with that. Yeah, they're on their third episode now. But anyway, those long stories and all that, they're good stories. They're interesting stories. Anyway.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you for having me.
No, always. Fun. I'll have you back soon. You're a regular. I'm going to have you here more than anyone. You'll be back for sure.
We'll love it. Thank you so much.
All right, everyone, say goodbye to Julia. Bye. Bye. Good luck with the shopping online for stuff. Shaving. Right. All right, man. I got to go shave, apparently. That's what I got to do. Let me get out of here and go shave. I was going to eat, but apparently I shave my face and other areas, but not my chest. Apparently that's where I screwed up, so I got to shave my chest. You guys are great. Thank you so much. This was Wednesday, the Wednesday episode. We will be back next week on Monday. Thank you all. Thanks for the great questions. Thank you guys so much for, thank you, Rachel, for the advice and the tips as far as what to cover, what to talk about, all that stuff. I think we covered a lot of stuff today. It was a good day. It was very good. You guys are awesome. Have a great weekend. Oh, I keep forgetting. I should have said this earlier. Just like the video. Make sure everybody hit like the video. Please do it now. Look, I didn't say it and everybody forgot. Oh, look at that. That was quick. Everybody like the video. Like the video, share it, subscribe to it, all that stuff, please. Give it a big thumbs up. I should have mentioned right off the top. I keep screwing that up. That's my bad. And there we go. That's all. You guys are great. Thank you so much. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week on Monday. As always, dream of Pinky.
Lenny Schmidt Quarantine Comedy was created, produced, and is hosted by Lenny Schmidt. We live stream on YouTube at 6 p.m. Pacific every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Special episodes occasionally stream or are uploaded on Tuesday and Thursday. Every episode is also launched as a podcast and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. If you enjoyed the show, please like the video. If you really like it, share the video. If you really, really like it, please subscribe to the Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. You'll get updates on this and numerous other online comedy content that my dad produces. Check the info section below for detailed information on all of our guests. If you are a fan, you can follow and support them as well. Go to their page, like their content, buy their albums, purchase a shirt, any merch they may be selling. Anything you do will support performers, will literally help save the arts. In fact, if you want to support this show financially, just go to lennyschmidt.com/ifyoucan or Venmo at Lenny Schmidt Comedy. If you donate as little as $1 or as much as $10,000, it will help pay for the stuff my dad keeps breaking. If you can't pay for the comedy content, that's okay. COVID sucks for all of us. Enjoy the free show. If you want to find a way to support what we do, just subscribe to Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. That really helps a lot. Thank you for listening to my dad's show, and as always, dream of Pinky.